Among the sands of Mesopotamia, whispers tell of a paradise that touched the sky. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon, one of the seven wonders of the ancient world, have captured imaginations for over 2,000 years. Described as terraces overflowing with trees, vines, and flowers, it was said to defy both gravity and time, a living mountain of greenery built in the heart of the desert. Ancient travelers called it a miracle of love and engineering. But even now, no one knows where it truly stood, or if it ever existed at all. Between myth and memory, the legend of the gardens continues to bloom. In that mystery lies its eternal beauty and allure. Humanity's first fantasy of paradise might have been real, or perhaps the dream itself was the wonder. Long before empires rose in the West, Babylon reigned as the jewel of the East. Under King Nebuchadnezzar II, it became the world's greatest city, a marvel of architecture and ambition. Towering ziggurats pierced the heavens, golden gates shimmered in sunlight, and its walls stretched farther than imagination. Yet among all its wonders, one stood above them all, a mountain of life rising from stone. The Hanging Gardens were said to bring coolness to the desert heat, shade to the weary, and hope to the heart. Babylon wasn't just a city, it was a vision of divine order shaped by human hands. The king who ruled the dust made the desert bloom. In the balance between power and beauty, Babylon found its soul. Behind every great wonder, there lies a story of love or longing. Legend says Nebuchadnezzar built the gardens for his queen, Amytis of Media. She missed the green mountains of her homeland, the scent of cedar and the touch of rain. To ease her sorrow, the king commanded that an artificial mountain be raised in the desert. Engineers crafted stone terraces filled with rich soil and flowing water. Palm trees and flowers from distant lands were brought to life in the heart of Babylon. It was not just a gift, it was devotion carved in stone. Love became architecture. Affection became immortality. In building for his queen, Nebuchadnezzar built for eternity. To make a desert bloom is to challenge the gods themselves. The greatest mystery of the Hanging Gardens wasn't its beauty, but its engineering. Ancient historians wrote of a system that lifted water from the Euphrates River to the highest terraces, an impossible feat for its time. Some believe it used a chain pump system powered by hidden mechanisms. Water flowed endlessly, nourishing life where none should exist. It was nature rewritten by human genius. The gardens proved that technology and art could work in harmony. Each droplet that fell from its heights carried both science and soul. In those flowing waters, civilization found its reflection. To the travelers of old, Babylon's gardens were more dream than reality. Greek historians like Strabo and Philo described them as breathtaking, a lush mountain of trees suspended in the air. Others claim to have seen waterfalls glimmering down terraces as wide as temples. To those who visited, it was as if heaven had descended to earth. But centuries later, their descriptions began to blur. No Babylonian text ever mentioned the gardens, and no ruins have been found. The line between fact and fantasy began to vanish. Perhaps the ancients described not what they saw, but what they wished to believe, and that wish alone was powerful enough to make paradise real. The greatest wonders are often the ones that vanish without a trace. Archaeologists have searched Babylon for decades, yet no sign of the gardens has ever been discovered. Some now believe they stood not in Babylon at all, but in Nineveh, built by the Assyrian king Sennacherib, who also created lush terraces fed by aqueducts. Ancient scribes may have confused the two cities, merging them into one tale of wonder. Whether in Babylon or Nineveh, the truth remains buried beneath the sands of time. The story transcends borders, becoming a legend shared by nations. In the end, it matters little where the gardens stood, only that humanity remembers them still. The Hanging Gardens were more than architecture, they were philosophy in bloom. They represented harmony between nature and invention, between the human and the divine. Where deserts withered, Babylon built life. Where the earth cracked, water flowed. The gardens embodied humankind's oldest desire, to turn chaos into beauty. They were not just a royal gift, they were a symbol of humanity's creative purpose. Their terraces were temples to both science and soul. Each leaf was an idea, each vine a vision. They taught the world that creation is our greatest act of worship, and that even in dust, the human spirit can grow gardens. Every paradise must face its end. And Babylon's came with fire and time. Empires rose and fell, and the walls of Babylon crumbled under conquest and neglect. Alexander the Great later stood among its ruins, dreaming of restoring its lost glory. But time was merciless. The Euphrates shifted, earthquakes struck, and the terraces turned to dust. The laughter of fountains faded, and the palms withered in silence. Yet in that silence, the legend grew. What vanished in the earth blossomed in memory. The gardens fell not into ruin, but into eternity. For every end that is remembered becomes a new kind of beginning. Modern archaeologists still chase shadows of green buried under gold dust. Excavations at Babylon reveal grand palaces, temples, and walls, but never the gardens themselves. Satellite scans and ancient maps hint at hidden structures once near the river's edge. Perhaps time buried them too deep, or perhaps they were never there at all. Yet every discovery brings new fragments of truth: irrigation canals, vaulted terraces, inscriptions of life and water. The mystery deepens with each clue, keeping curiosity alive. In seeking the gardens, we are really seeking ourselves, the eternal builders of lost dreams. Even in the absence, wonder continues to grow. Even if the Hanging Gardens never existed, their story refuses to fade. For over 2 millennia, poets, painters, and historians have reimagined them in countless forms. They became a symbol not of proof, but of possibility, of humanity's faith in beauty beyond reach. The gardens teach that some wonders must remain unseen to stay eternal. In their absence, they bloom endlessly in imagination. Whether myth or memory, they continue to inspire the dreamers of every age. The world's greatest wonders are not always built from stone. Some are built from belief, and belief, unlike marble, never crumbles. The Hanging Gardens became humanity's first vision of man-made Eden. They bridged heaven and earth, proving that art and nature could live as one. Their influence echoed across centuries, from Persian courtyards to Mughal palaces, from Roman villas to modern gardens of glass. Every garden that seeks harmony with nature carries Babylon's spirit. They remind us that beauty, when born of love and imagination, is never lost. Even when the roots are gone, the dream continues to grow. In every leaf that touches sunlight, the ancient vision lives again. The gardens may have fallen, but their essence became the blueprint of beauty itself. Though the stones of Babylon have fallen, the dream of the gardens still blossoms. They live in paintings, poetry, and the hearts of all who seek wonder. The legend reminds us that not all truths must be proven. Some are meant to be felt. The Hanging Gardens may have vanished from the earth, but not from history's soul. They stand as a testament to the human spirit, the power to create life in desolation. Through time and myth, they remain the green heartbeat of civilization's memory. The wonder may be lost, but the longing it inspired will never fade. In every age, we build new gardens in its name. And so, the lost wonder lives forever, not in Babylon, but in us.